Baby, where you at? Let the motherfucking cheeks flap.
Swinging ass and titties when I'm stepping in the club. Hold your pussy in your hand, and if you only got a dub. Barrel body bitches in the corner, me mug. Wanna hear the chameleon, give the DJ a tug.
Time has changed his perspective. Now, Corey, what happened at the MGM between Orlando and people with the death row?
I was at the bar buying some drinks. Somebody came up and told me, hey man, they just jumped on nephew over there. So I got my bottle and turned around and saw him standing by the pole and went over there and talked to him. You know, I was just like, dog, what's up, you all right? Like, yeah, I'm good. I'm like, what happened? And man, the tried to jump on me. And he was just like, you know, I want a fair one. Well, a fair one, that's, you know, in the hood, you know, I want a fair fight. So they had jumped on him, but now he want a fair fight. Come on, me and one of y'all fight head up.
Corey, what happened next?
I was like, man, look, we can catch up with all this when we get back in Compton, you know? And Lane looked at me and said, dog, if it was you, you wouldn't want to wait till we got home. And when he said that, I was like, you right.
Whatever happened in that video was going to be responded to.
Most definitely. So we was all standing there talking. You know, they finna go over there to the club. And we rode over there.
Club 662?
Yeah, to wait on them and confront them, make his response. We got over there and waited around for about an hour. Nobody showed up. So I said, man, look, man, we in Vegas. It's fight weekend. I'm finna go get some bottles and go back to the hotel. There was too many girls at the hotel. I'm not finna be sitting in the parking lot waiting on some pull up and we got all these women to play with over here.
Yes, sir.
That's what we came for.
After waiting for Tupac and Suge to get there, do you know who left with Orlando Anderson? Was it T. Brown? Was it DeAndre? Was it Keefe D? Was it a white Cadillac?
I didn't see any white Cadillac, and nor do I know who was in the car with him. It was 2 or 3 different cars, so you know what I mean? I don't know who all rode with who.
I remember when we met with Compton Police Detective Tim Brennan, he mentioned the gun that was found in Corey Edwards' girlfriend's backyard. I've always been curious about that gun. Did at some point a gun was found that they thought was used in the murder of Tupac Shakur?
Yeah, it was found in my girlfriend's backyard.
In your girlfriend's backyard?
Yeah.
Did she find it?
No, her father found it.
Backyard?
Actually, went in the backyard and his dog was running around the yard with it in his mouth.
The dog?
The dog. They had a pit bull and he was running around the yard with the gun in his mouth.
And so did he called the police and reported it?
Yeah, turned it in.
Why do you think the police thought the gun found in your girlfriend's father's backyard was the gun used to kill Tupac?
Well, I don't have no idea why they said it was a gun. And I didn't know if to believe it or not, because I thought they would be much more aggressive about doing things if it was the gun, you know? First, I thought it was some.
I'm glad you asked me that question.
Yes, sir.
Okay, like I said, the murder weapon was a Glock 40, right? Kind of a unique weapon back in the 90s, 96. A guy by the name of Tim Brennan, he's probably one of the best gang detectives that I know. He worked at Compton PD. And he was going through some old, you know, when the Compton Police Department got taken over by the Sheriff's Department, the Sheriff's Department took all of the guns that Compton PD had in evidence and property. So a lot of the guns were found property, you know, like if you find a gun in your yard or something, you call the police, we'll come pick it up and put it in found property. So Brennan was going through all these guns and he came across a Glock 40 caliber that was found property, and it was found in a yard about 4 houses away from where Baby Lane lived.
In 2000, the weapons that had been stored were leftovers from when the city had its own PD.
So what's missing?
So there's a list of mostly Berettas and some Glocks.
The building had no cameras. Until recently, it was completely vacant. The ATF now has a record of what guns are gone in case any are used in a crime or turn up on the street. exactly where Compton doesn't want them.
The city, myself, and the mayor and council take it very seriously, which is why we ordered this investigation immediately.
No word exactly how many people had access to that combination lock and to that vault, but it appears that for decades, that combination never
Compton
changed.
lost 31 firearms from its vault. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives has put out an alert to help find whoever stole them from City Hall. Agents believe 23 .40 caliber Beretta pistols and 8 Glocks were swiped somewhere between March 6th and August 31st of last year. There's a $10,000 reward for any information that leads to an arrest.
Okay? So Brennan gets the gun out of evidence. It had been sitting in property, sheriff's property, for about 10 years, right? Brennan gets the gun because they were about to destroy all the guns. Brennan gets the gun, takes it to the sheriff's lab, they test it, and it comes back as the murder weapon, right? Comes back that the shell casings had found at the scene had been worked through the action of that particular weapon. Brennan contacts Las Vegas PD. Las Vegas PD, okay, all right, we'll come get it. They go get the gun. They test fire at their own lab, and they come to the conclusion that it's not the murder weapon.
How can that be?
Okay, I have no idea. Because these firearms experts are trained, they get the same training. So there should be no way that one firearms examiner says that it's the murder weapon and another one says that it's not. I don't even know how that happened. I can't speculate how it happens. All I know is that one firearms investigator said that it was a weapon, and it was a Glock 40, and another firearms investigator for Las Vegas Metro said that it wasn't. So the last I heard, the gun was in the possession of Las Vegas PD Metro.
It wasn't found in someone's backyard. That story was...
No, it actually was found in the backyard. It was a neighbor called because they found a gun in the backyard, but it sat in property and evidence for like 10 years until Brennan was going through all the guns before they were destroyed, and he came across a Glock, because there wasn't that many Glock 40s that were in property. So because it was the same kind of gun, caliber, that was used in the Tupac murder, he sent it to the lab to be tested, to the LA County Sheriff's Lab.
I'm just sniffing that, and something about that doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah, it don't sit right with me either. Kind of a unique weapon back in
the 90s, 96.
In 2006. So Blondie, how did he find this weapon?
He was assigned to go look at back around the murder of Tupac, any .40 caliber Glocks that were recovered at Compton PD, because we had like 3,000 guns recovered during that time,
so
right?
This was around 2006, during the Biggie Task Force.
That's correct.
Era. Got it.
Okay. So Tim notices a report that was Corey Edwards, was there when Tupac got killed. He was a Southside Crip gang member. It was his girlfriend's house. Tim recognized the address.
Okay, wait. So Corey Edwards was in Las Vegas when Tupac got killed. But he wasn't in the car, though.
Right.
Okay.
He was there, though.
He was there.
And Tim notices the address. And what happened was there was a .40 caliber Glock buried in the backyard, and his dog dug it up and was running around the backyard with it in his mouth. And the dad called up, and they went out and recovered the gun. But the cops that went out there just say it's a found gun. They just booked it. But Tim noticed that, so they go have it checked against the casings found at the Tupac murder, and they said it matched.
Wait. So this gun that was found in Corey's backyard?
Yes.
They actually matched the casings to the casings found when Tupac got killed. So does that mean, how likely is it that this is the same gun when it comes to these types of testing?
It's very likely, and the mistakes aren't made that often. In this case, apparently there was a mistake made, but the initial ruling when the guy tested it against the casing, because it's entered in a NIBIN computer. It's where anytime a gun is used, they take casings or whatever, they put it in this computer in case a gun was used somewhere else, they can link it up against each other. And that's what they did, and he said it was a positive match.
Okay.
But the point I'm trying to make here...
But you said a mistake was made, so was it not a positive match?
Well, it was a positive match, so Kading takes the gun out to Vegas later on, and they retest it, and they say it wasn't the gun.
Okay.
So apparently Kading, based on his statement, says he brought the gun back, and they rebooked it into evidence, and it was destroyed. It got destroyed, so we'll never know now. But the point I was trying to make was that they wrote up a little, memo saying that, hey, we found the gun, because they were all excited when it tested positive, right? So at the end of the memo, it says, do not notify Las Vegas PD.
Right. It says in this report, due to the sensitive nature of the weapon recovery and the potential to alert criminal conspirators by outside agency involvement, Assistant United States Attorney Tim C. Wright, Assistant United States Attorney Tim C. Wright, Assistant United States Attorney Tim C. Wright.
This is addressed to my friends and family and the good people of Williamson County. It is with deep regret that I'm announcing that I'm resigning my position as judge of the Williamson County Court at Law Number 2, effective immediately. Just a few moments ago, I entered a plea of guilty to violating federal firearms regulations and making false statements. I'm guilty of those violations and now stand ready to accept full responsibility for my actions. No one is above the law, especially not judges. I sincerely apologize to my family, friends, and the people of Williamson County for any discredit and embarrassment that I may have created as a result of my actions. In addition to my resignation, I'm voluntarily surrendering my license to practice law, my concealed handgun license, and my federal firearms license, and I hope that everyone finds it in their hearts the willingness to forgive me.
Who has been assigned as a federal case prosecutor, has confirmed with superiors who agree with the task force detectives the information regarding the recovery of the firearm should not be shared with the Las Vegas Police Department.
Amen. So, based on what happened with the proffer agreement, they worked on this murder from a different agency. It's not even their murder, okay? And he says, Katie said there's such things as professional courtesy. Professional courtesy I've done hundreds of times. When I'm sitting and interviewing you, you're a murder suspect and you cop out to my murder, but you cop out to murder in Inglewood or just say Inglewood. So I get off the phone, I get off interviewing you, I'm going to take your statement. You tell me about the murder in Inglewood. But as soon as I get out of the room, hey, Inglewood, this guy's copping out to your murder. You want to come down and interview, or I'll just write up what I got. It's up to you. It's your murder. That's professional courtesy. Mm-hmm. These guys have the audacity to work on someone else's murder without telling them for months. Think about this, though. I mean, general public don't care, but in the law enforcement world, it's outrageous, unbelievable. I don't even know if it's ever been done before, especially a high profile. I get pissed because it's a high profile murder. It's the biggest high profile murders in the last 30 years. And he doesn't even tell. He could have had plenty of time to get Vegas involved. Say, hey, if you don't want to get involved, I wouldn't be talking shit right now. But you have to get Las Vegas involved. Send somebody down. And to offer somebody a proffer agreement, it's unbelievable to me how this happened. And I'm telling you, he fucked up the case more than he helped it.